Hello YouTube, it is Ross again with a Pedalboard update. You may be looking at this and really kind of not thinking it's the same pedalboard. It is. Made a lot of changes in the past few months, and yeah, so I'm going to take you on a little tour of the current state of things. This is a little bit in flux right now because I'm trying to sample out some overdrives and see which ones are going to be best for what I want to do, and then get rid of the others, and eventually add probably a true bypass strip of sorts, probably a this one's mine true bypass strip. So we'll start with a little tour. It's top of the signal chain. Pog 2. You guys know the Pog 2. It's a wonderful octave pedal, and it has been serving me very well. It's getting a little easier to get the hang of after I've been using it for a while. So really great octave pedal. Going from the Pog 2 into the JHS modded Ernie Ball VP Jr. And as you can see, there's a little power jack on the side now. And the power jack basically powers a little black buffer circuit that they installed in the volume pedal, as well as there being a completely isolated tuner out jack, so you can use your tuner with whatever length of cable you want, and it's no tonal loss at all. So that's pretty awesome. So I have the Polytune in the tuner out jack of that pedal, and then from the volume pedal we go into, let's see, where do we go? Okay, yeah, looks like we're going to the Amp 11 by Love Pedal, and this is definitely one of the overdrives I'm deciding to keep. This pedal is great. A lot of people had some gripe about this being kind of a Timmy clone, and it's kind of like a Timmy in my opinion, but it's not really the same pedal, and the boost function is really cool and unique, and I found it very useful. And so I'm probably going to be keeping this one. Then we go into the Full Tone OCD. The Full Tone OCD is one of my longest running pedals on my board. I've had this pedal for a long time, and I've been using it pretty exclusively with my humbucker guitars, and right now that is specifically my Palmer 335 copy, and it sounds wonderful. This has just been a great buy for me, and I may never sell it. Who knows? Then I'm going into the JHS Morning Glory Overdrive, which I have had for a little while now, and I got it from my Duo Jet that I got a few months ago. But this pedal, though it has a lot of clarity and snap to it, and you really can hear the transparency, it doesn't saturate enough at higher dynamic levels, so it's just not something that's going to be usable for me after all. But it is a wonderful sounding pedal, and if you're just looking for a slightly overdriven sound, more of a boost, this pedal is definitely right up your alley. So very nice pedal. And then we go into the Exotic BB preamp, and this pedal is a wonderful sounding pedal. I am a fan of the Exotic stuff. I think they make great stuff. This particular Exotic pedal is kind of replacing what was the BB Plus for me, and I kind of like this a little more. It's a little simpler, and have a little more control over a very usable overdrive sound. So liking that. Then we go into the Mad Professor Sky Blue Overdrive, which I definitely would not have gotten if I needed to pay full price, because that's like $330. And so I got this at a much better price, and I am really liking it with my Duo Jet. It's really hard to make this pedal sound bad, in my opinion. So definitely keeping this one. Then going into the printed circuit board version of the Little Green Wonder by Mad Professor, which also is a great pedal. Not sure if I'm keeping it though. It just doesn't seem to fit the things that I need to do with an overdrive pedal very well, but it is a great sounding pedal. So then we go into the Paul Cochran Timmy, and you guys all know the Timmy. The Timmy's great. Nothing to really dislike about the Timmy. Probably going to be hanging on to that one as well. Then we go into the Eventide ModFactor, which still incidentally is one of the least used pedals on my board, but because you're in a worship leading position, you get asked to play a bunch of different things, and you got to be prepared for just about anything. So this is still on the board, and I still like it. It's a great modulation pedal, has tons of cool sounds, particularly the undulator effect is really, really cool. So, Eventide ModFactor going into the Strymon Timeline, which I just got last week, and it is so cool, and I'm still kind of getting the hang of how everything works on the pedal, but it's just a magnificent delay if you are into having lots of different options, and I love having the different options. Some people, I think, have sided with the opinion of the timeline being just a little too much, a little excessive for options and stuff. And that may be true for some people, definitely. Some people don't need as much control over their delay, but I do enjoy having this much control over my delay. So, and I love having all the presets and having two sounds per bank. That's just a wonderful feature, I think. So, Strymon Timeline, love it. Goes into the Boss RV3, which has been on the board for a long time. It is actually the first legitimate pedal I've ever purchased, and it's still here. I love the lo-fi dark reverb that I get out of it, and Boss has some cool reverbs. So definitely enjoying this pedal, keeping it on the board. It may never leave. So lastly but not leastly, the Eventide Space, which I've had now for just a couple months, maybe, actually more like a month. This pedal is just amazing. I really, really love the reverb sounds on this. They're just incredible, and the bank switching is great too, because one thing I wanted to avoid was kind of doing a bunch of tap dancing to get a layered reverb sound, but with this pedal you can just find one sound that has all the different things that you need, and it does it all. So I'm really, really happy with this pedal. It's a little pricey, just like the Timeline, but it is worth it if you're a reverb fiend like myself. And so I love a lot of the settings. The black hole setting is awesome. The hall setting is great. They're all pretty sweet. So I would highly recommend this to anybody who is a reverb aficionado. Definitely. So then we go into the Radial Twin City ABY amp switcher from the Bones series, and this pedal is essentially just acting as my amp switcher, and it's kind of in flux right now because I'm considering whether going stereo is a thing I want to consider or not. But for right now, it's switching between my two amps, which are my, as you can see back here, the Marshall Blues Breaker reissue and the Fender Blues DeVille 212 combo. So then basically what happens is output A goes into the SGI, which goes to my Blues Breaker, and just last week I tried putting the amp off stage and it actually worked really nicely. And then output B, hopefully I can get another SGI at some point, but the output B right now goes to the Fender, and that's usually for my Strat, and the Blues Breaker acts as the amp for my Duojet and the Palmer. And then underneath the hood are two Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2 Pluses, and I don't need to go into detail with that, but that's basically what's powering the board. I'm considering changing the power supply routine because I've got a bunch of wall warts underneath the power, all the Eventides and the Timeline and stuff, and I'd prefer to avoid it if I could. So a bunch of stuff that I'm considering right now, but right now here's the state of the board. Hope you guys enjoyed the update. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them or message me. And yeah, as usual, glory goes to God, and catch you later. God bless.